Before you listen or watch this episode of I Could Be Your Grandma, please make sure to rate and review us on Spotify and on iTunes, and subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on all social media.
I know something's about to go down.
That's it. Welcome to episode 8 of I Could Be Your Grandma with me, Alfred Mulroy, and you,
Mrs. Mulroy.
And you wear it wonderfully,
Thank
my dear.
you. Look at you like a slick pro getting straight into it.
Come on. Well, I'm learning, you see, about this whole thing.
Yeah.
You've got to, you're a bit of a pro, and you're
I'm not a pro at all. Last episode, at times, I think we didn't introduce ourselves to about 3.5, 4 minutes in. Which people have switched off by then, so what's the point? They don't even know who we are. Got to get that info straight away.
Okay, so, well, the people who stayed with us, though, already know that this is what the podcast is called.
That's true. Before we get started, rate and review on Spotify and iTunes.
Yeah, come on, guys.
The rating reviews keep climbing. You're doing it. Just tell your friends to do it.
Yeah.
Which is great. We really appreciate it. You can subscribe on YouTube. Please literally click the button right now, because the more subscribers, the more people watch it, and the more money we'll maybe get in the future, which is why we're doing it. It's purely for cash, not for entertainment purposes. And then finally, follow us on social media. I Could Be Your _grandma on Instagram. I Could Be Your Grandma on Facebook. And that's pretty much it. All the links below, in a bio, wherever you need it. You'll find it everywhere. Just look for the links and click and follow. And then finally, this episode does come out before the live 24-hour podcast, which we're doing on the 22nd of January.
Yeah.
It's going to be mayhem. It's going to be madness.
Yeah.
Please donate. Please donate. And I think our total's nearly £200. We've got a goal of
We've got a while to go
1,000.
then.
So guys, stop being fucking stingy, yeah?
It's not like it's the time of year where you have no money.
Yeah, what the fuck's
Come on.
going on?
Come on, guys.
Have you not got no
Who
hearts?
are you? How are you?
Yeah, I should probably have a couple of warnings before this show starts, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
You might
You might need to put some of the masks on your ears.
I'll definitely edit that.
Why? I like
No,
that.
okay. For some of the hot listeners who are into the ASMR, you might be thinking, why does Alfie sound so
Dry.
sexy today? So dry and phlegmily sexy. It's because I have a throat problem. We suspect it could be the old Rona. Although I'm negatively testing.
I
But
don't think it is.
the PCR tomorrow will find out. Well, I'm telling you, Bridge, I've not had anything like it before. So
Oh, really? Really?
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Well, what are you going to do, though, if it was negative? What are you going to say to all of the wonderful people that listen to this?
I'll go, hey guys, I was wrong.
Thanks for wasting our time with your lame sore throat story.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough. Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. I'm tired. I was up all night with this silly cough.
Okay.
I was up, and coughs never keep me up either. But this one's different.
This
one kept me up, and it's not even that bad. Like, it's not like constant pain.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying.
Okay, and you've not had that kind of cough before?
I've not had that cough. You know, Bridge, you've been married to me for 3 years. We've had 7, nearly 8 wonderful years together. I don't get ill that often.
You'd never get ill.
So when I do, the world should stop.
The world needs to know about it.
Absolutely. But bloody hell, we're not going to stay on this virus.
No.
Because that's all everyone fucking talks
Alfie,
about.
as well, this is the first... No,
it's not.
No.
We've started the new year.
Okay.
Already. Anyway, going back to that episode, you took the lead on that episode. It was a great episode.
thanks, darling.
So let's just keep the tradition
momentum
going.
Okay, I'll take the reins.
Yeah.
New year, new you. You feeling it?
We've done this.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, we did this last episode.
my God.
Maybe, in fact, I'll take the reins this episode.
I was just going to say, I'm feeling really, I'm eating well this week.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Good.
It's boring. You can carry on.
What have you been eating?
soup.
Soup. It's the pot. Where were you gonna go with that?
I don't know.
Where were you gonna go with the?
I just wanted people to know that I'm eating better than I have done. Moderately well for the past 2 days.
Do you feel good for it?
I feel great.
Do you? Well, you look good for it.
I feel hungry though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Have you had any relapses?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope. Nothing. I'm sticking on it. Although I came in tonight and I had like a handful of pecan nuts and some mackerel.
Yeah, it's been a delight being with you.
Yeah.
Have you? Has your gas improved or got worse? Has your stomach gone woo?
No. In fact, if anything, everything's slowed down a little
Oh,
bit.
really?
I think it's because I'm feeding it less.
Because whenever I have like a healthy diet change, I get real gassy.
Real gassy.
Because like all your body's like suddenly like, oh, all this veg I've got to process.
Yeah, well, I'm eating more veg, but I think it's a lack of food that my body's actually getting used to.
Yeah, you have been eating quite little.
Yeah, for 2 days though.
Yeah.
3 actually.
Yeah,
3.
give yourself credit.
God, it feels like a lifetime ago.
I know. Well, the only thing I'm going to take the lead on
Okay.
is this is all know in our Christmas episode. Was that a Christmas episode? Or was it the one after? I can't remember.
I don't know
We
anymore.
were talking about our Granny of the Year award.
I loved those. Yeah, 3 strong.
3 strong contenders. And we decided on a winner, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And I don't think anyone will disagree. Or maybe they will. But our winner was the great Alfredo Rivera.
Yeah, he's the flight attendant guy who is a legend.
Who's in the title, in the credits of this wonderful podcast you're listening to now.
Yeah.
And we reached out to Alfredo and told him about this magnificent honour that he received. The first of Granny of the Year awards for this podcast. And we said this to him. We said, it's the first one. And we're going to do it for many years to come. So he's got his name in the history books for our show for many reasons. So he reached out and said, do you want to accept this award? And he did. And he sent us a video message to accept his prestigious I Could Be Your Grandma Granny of the Year 2021 award.
What's up, everybody over there at I Could Be Your Grandma podcast? I want to thank you guys for giving me the first ever Granny of the Year award. Thank you to everybody over there, Alfie and Bridget. Dang, I almost messed that up. But I never got an award before, so I guess you guys are the first people to give me one. So to you, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Thank you so much, because I wasn't even getting ready to accept any awards, but hey, hell, I'll take it. You want to give me anything else, like a plane ticket? I'll come over there and sit with you and eat some whatever the hell y'all eat, crumpets and cheese and all that good shit. Well, maybe I couldn't say that. Don't play that on the podcast. Just bleep it out. You know how we do in the editing world. But thank you again, Alfie and Bridget over there at I Could Be Your Grandma podcast. Whew, I'm just fat and tired because I just want to take a breath. All right, I'm gonna go get me some ice cream. All right, thank you, Alfie and Bridget.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, I love him so much. Can he be my best friend ever?
I know.
I really want him to be my friend. He's so great.
Awesome. Oh, God. I've been there.
Oh, and he needs to just take a sit down and take a breath.
One thing, Alfredo, if you're listening, as soon as we have enough money to fly you over
Mate,
here,
you're the first.
you are on it.
Yeah.
You are coming on, and we will have crumpets and tea.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we do eat those.
We do.
So,
yeah.
that was nice, wasn't it?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so cool. But what was so funny is that we didn't. Did we talk about the fact that he's a comedian?
We didn't confirm it.
Right.
We didn't confirm it, but we didn't say that he wasn't.
Right. Okay.
Because when it originally came out, I was fooled. I thought this guy's real.
Yeah.
And I loved him. Not even more. I'll still love him massively now.
Yeah.
But he's a great comedian
He is
and character
so cool.
actor. So What an honour to have him on.
His voice is great. He's got.
Yeah.
He's. I want him to go far. I really do.
There's a reason why
He's really funny.
literally the first voice on the intro of the podcast, because
Yeah.
it's great.
Did you send him the theme tune?
I didn't. I said he was in the theme tune, so I don't know if he's listened or not. Probably not.
Well, we can
But
tag
we'll
him.
tag him. We'll tag him, and he can have a listen.
Okay. Yeah, Alfredo. Big respect.
Worthy winner.
So worthy. You're an absolute heroes champion, people's champion.
People's champion. Granny's champion.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Right. The reins are in your hands.
Okay. Hello. So last week I showed you that fantastic article of that woman who sprinkled her dead mother's ashes on that Christmas dinner.
It's the only way.
Yeah, and I thought about it a lot.
Oh, me too.
And I thought about, I actually haven't given it too much thought about how I want to be, how I want to go out in the world. Have you given it much thought?
I have, yeah. I have actually.
Okay, so you've got options. You've got buried,
Boring.
cremated,
Better, but boring still.
hot air balloon.
What happens there?
You know, it's like the third most obvious option.
Thrown off a hot air balloon?
No. All your little bits and pieces are gathered in a cloth and they're put in a hot air balloon.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've heard this one.
And then, yeah, obviously. And then the hot air balloon goes up into space. And then that's why, up in space, there's all this hot air balloons.
All those dead bodies floating around.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so like I have been thinking about it because, I told you a couple of weeks ago, like I've just got this crazy thing at the minute where I think about dying. Like every now and then I'll just pop in my head and I'll be like, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to die. And it's not in a bad way. Like I'm not depressed about it.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily like terrified, but it's just one of those things. It's just a thought that like in the past 6 months, it's like popped in my head like, oh, just remember you're going to die one day. And it's like, oh shit, okay, yeah, thanks.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, and I'm getting McDonald's. I'm in the queue just sobbing. But I did think...
That's such a horrible place to come to terms with your own death.
Yeah.
In the queue at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think you kind of have to be in that mindset set to order a McDonald's, don't you?
have to admit,
what's the fucking point?
Yeah, things are going to...
To shovel this shit in and die.
So good, though.
Oh, yeah. McDonald's, if you want to sponsor us, please do.
All for it.
I'm proper whoring ourselves out for sponsorships.
I know, aren't you?
And we've broken all the boundaries and barriers of getting any. But I've also listened to some podcasts that talk about death. And I know you've listened to some as well.
Yeah.
And I have a real desire to be one with Earth. I want my matter to get absorbed back into other matter. I want the Earth to swallow me up like a dirty little bitch. Like the dirty little hoe she is. So like ideally I want to just be like not buried in a coffin.
Yeah.
I don't want my flesh to be kept away from the Earth. I want all the worms and I want all the earth to get inside and just absorb me and turn me into soil and trees and leaves and flowers and happy things.
Oh, it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, but I don't think you can do that. But I think you can be buried at sea, and I'd be up for that.
Oh, see, that terrifies me because
Why?
it's not the place I suppose evolutionary. We did come from the sea.
We
didn't
did. We bloody did.
I know, but for me, like we don't live in the sea. Maybe a fisherman would be like, I'd be quite comfortable with this because I know this environment.
Right.
I don't live near.
But you're not conscious when you die, I don't want to break it to you.
I know that, but it's the idea of being at sea. I don't like the idea of being in the cold water.
I also don't want to be in the Irish Sea.
Why? Ew, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Say no more. No, I don't want to be like in a cold.
I think you find that's really
English sea.
discriminatory of the Irish Sea.
Well, fucking.
If any Irish Seas are listening, don't take any
If anyone
offense.
identifies as an Irish Sea, then I apologise. Profusely.
Fantastic.
Thank you. No, because I don't want to be buried in the bleak, grim English sea. Take me to the Bahamas, baby.
Yeah, I'd like to be buried in it, or could be at sea. You know, the Little Mermaid scene. You know, with all the crabs singing, the Jamaican crab, and like, you know, the flounder, and you know, the
All that.
all that will be great, bright and fun.
Not
No,
bleak, bloody.
no, off the coast of Brid.
Exactly. Exactly. And you can say that because I grew up in Brid.
I know, exactly.
Free pass.
Okay.
Sorry to all those Brid listeners out there.
How would it work? Would I have to push your body over the boat?
Yeah, maybe. You could do. It's your choice, isn't it? Like, what? Are you going to carry me in a coffin when I die?
Well,
Are you going to be part of that? That'd be quite cool. I'll be really old.
We don't know that. This is it. You can't. This is the thing about death, Alf.
Right, that's
you
true.
can't predict when you're going to die and how you're going to die.
No. Well, you can with your old star maps, can't you? Your old astrology stuff.
Here we go, having a go.
You should know everything.
Okay. So for listeners, I was at work the other day, and one of the people that I work with was like, "What's your star sign?"
And then you get, and the correct response is, "Don't talk shit and get on with your work."
You are just so close-minded.
If I was at my computer and someone said, "Oh, what's your star sign?" I'd go, "No, no." And then I go, I'm going to pretend that you didn't ask me that, and we're going to get back to work,
mate. Right? You think. You take me as somebody who is a man of. You've just said, you've claimed that you feel like you want to be one with the earth. You feel like you have a connection to the earth and to what's around you,
I know.
right?
You've got me.
And you proclaim that you want to have all like psychedelic experiences and this like explore your own consciousness and I do feel like this is kind of, and I do feel like an app telling me, you know, what friends are like each day.
Yeah,
is kind of in that same thread.
Oh, you've kind of got me there.
Right. The reason I take it with a real pinch of salt, I really do. But it's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of cool.
That was a small pinch of salt the other day in the car.
What do you mean?
You were bloody creaming your pants over it.
No, I wasn't.
No.
The girls at work were like, "Oh, what star sign are you?" And then I told them, and they're like, "Oh, that's interesting." This is what's so great about it. Is they go, "Oh, I didn't think you'd be that."
Oh, I thought you'd be a Capricorn, babe.
Right.
Oh.
But what's really interesting is that I learned that you have your star sign. So I'm born in November 3rd, which means my star sign is Scorpio. Okay. Now, I must say, I didn't know shit about this beforehand. Okay. But it's also important what time you were born because of what.
Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop talking.
No, please carry on.
I just felt that when I was reading through.
Was it hitting the nail on the head? Was it fucking smashing it?
Okay, it was. But then when I read because obviously I'd read the other ones to be like, oh yeah, I bet that applies to me too, which obviously it does. But what I think is useful about astrology or useful about all this stuff is that it can make you think, oh yeah.
You can will it into being.
Well, yeah, or you could go, yeah, I have been feeling really self-conscious recently. I'm going to think about that today. And then you consciously go, no, don't be bad about it. Don't talk negatively about yourself. Be more positive. And then you actively take on those things.
Yeah.
So maybe that isn't the important bit isn't the readings that come from the stars.
No.
Maybe it's what you do with the words of wisdom.
And
you know what?
That's not a bad thing, is it?
And if it needs to be in a present of like a astrology app, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no. I can understand that side of it. As in, it's not a bad thing if it's making you be a better person, is it?
Exactly.
Or making you live life to the best way that you can.
Right.
It's kind of linked to magic, isn't it, in that way? Because if it's like, if you're...
magic's a whole other bold game.
It's a whole big bold game.
We're going to get into magic with a K another episode because I am so intrigued by this philosophy and this...
But a big part of that isn't a lot of it like willing your destiny,
Yes.
believing and willing your destiny to come true?
Something like
so
that.
like a very shit way of explaining it is like, if you want to be rich, you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to make this happen, I'm going to be rich. And it wills it into the world. That's a very layman's term of doing it. But we should have a magic episode, actually.
Oh my God, 100%.
Mad,
it's so mad. They basically, if you practice magic, you, from what I gather and what I've listened to, you basically don't believe in the very fundamentals of our universe.
Yeah,
Existence.
it's pretty wild, guys. Not
It's
gonna
crazy.
lie.
So you believe that it's all just...
Yeah, do they think it's like the Matrix, or do they think it's just like consciousness, simulated consciousness?
I think that's a real layman's way of explaining it for people who first get into it. As you go, the Matrix, this is it. This, if you've ever seen the Matrix, this is what we believe in. Yeah,
but not with the robots thing, or with the robots thing.
I think they have. I think. Well, obviously, I don't know whether.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, magic is wild. I've heard some amazing podcasts from it about it. Has there anything? Have you willed anything to come true? Not really actively. Not meditated it, but just thought in the back of your mind, like, I deserve this, and I know this is gonna happen.
Yeah, but I think I deserve everything.
Yeah, good man. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
No, I think I actually have. Do you know what's mad is that like I'm giving you so much shit about astrology, and you know I don't necessarily believe in magic, but I'm more interested in it, and it's, if not crazier. In fact, it is crazy. Well, it's as crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely had times where like I remember not willed it, but I remember like with jobs and stuff. I've always been like, oh, I know I'm gonna get this job. It's weird, like, but not when I've applied and gone for an interview. Like after, I'm like, I know I'm all right. I mean, like when I see the job posted for the first time, I go, oh, I'm gonna get that job.
That's the male privilege, right?
And
there.
it's really exactly as soon as I click white British, got it.
And amazingly, you get the job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's really But apart from that, probably not.
That's so. But where do you think that came from? That like, I know I'm going to get that job.
I don't know. I think it's probably it's probably a combination of like loving the job, seeing it and being like, that's my job. I'd love to do that.
Right.
And loving it so much that I'm like, I won't let anything else get in the way of me getting it.
Now that's it though. That
but
mindset.
That is it, isn't
that
it?
is
yeah.
it. Yeah, that's it.
I remember when I first saw Magik, I was like, what people like on podcasts, like people will say like, with talking about magic or whatever. I'm like, what are these magicians suddenly like cropping up for?
Yeah, they're not magicians. It's not magic like we know it. It's like philosophy.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's really, really interesting. There's a guy on the Duncan Trussell's Family Hour, that guy who's my favorite, who just talks about like crazy magic, like orgies he's had with people that lasted like they've taken a load of, apparently magic, you take a lot of drugs and then you like to explore your consciousness and stuff, and then you just have like all night long orgies with like
sign me up. Sign me up.
It's crazy. Like I'd really recommend people listening to some of it, because
what's his name on,
because these people
Duncan?
are so intelligent and have such a strange view of the world. It's amazing to listen to. I get really freaked out though when I listen to too much of it.
Yeah,
like in summer,
wild,
I was on like listening to loads of it, just being like, oh, wait, this is blowing my mind. I've never heard of these kind of concepts, these kind of like new ways of thinking about reality before. And it freaked me out, like to the point where I was like, I can't listen to it for like a while but then they would argue like, you're too attached to material life. This is why it freaks you out.
Interesting. Interesting. What's the name of the guy on Duncan Trussell?
He's called Jason Louv.
Jason Louv, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to take his course actually. There was like a beginner's course that you can do. But it's basically like meditate for 10 days. 10
a lot, again,
minutes
it's like
a day.
astrology. A lot of it's actually just making positive change in your life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because like that's the thing with magic. Like no one can prove that it does work and no one can prove that it doesn't. It's kind of just like, oh, if you want to start like positive affirmation, then go for it. And it's like, well, positive affirmation can't actually be that bad, can it, for my mental being? And all that stuff.
Yeah,
so-
I'm all about positive affirmation. It's never worked for me though.
And you're all about drug-infused orgies as well, aren't you? So,
That's my thing. 2022, that's my thing.
absolutely. Do you reckon Cobra Tate's magic? He mentioned the Matrix a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, Cobra Tate, I reckon he is, for people who don't, can you explain Cobra Tate to people who don't know who this guy is?
Cobra Tate is a kickboxer, or was a kickboxer. He's retired now. I think he was like an 8 world time champion kickboxer, like very, very highly regarded in martial arts. And then he started, like he was always known for being quite a wild person and very outspoken and very not PG.
Mm-hmm.
And
PC.
And
Or PG.
and he's like been labeled, and probably rightly so, very misogynistic, and very like outrageous in the way he speaks and presents himself. And then, we first discovered him on another amazing podcast, which I recommend everyone listens to, called Your Mum's House, which we adore. Mm-hmm. And he was labeled as like a cool guy to them, and essentially a cool guy is a man that speaks horrifically about women and sex and all the things that blokes think are cool. In an ironic way that he isn't actually a cool guy. He's a bit of a knobhead.
Yeah.
And then, incredibly, they got him on the show. Absolutely listen to it, because it's one of the best episodes of any podcast I've ever listened to.
It's the most entertaining thing. It's like wild. This guy is
I've never
wild.
laughed so hard.
It was so funny.
I remember I went to go watch Barrow, staying at your mum and Roger's house, and I started that episode in your room on my own, and I was laughing so hard. The bed was shaking, and I remember thinking, like, they must think I'm having a right party in here, but I couldn't stop watching it.
I know.
I started at like 11. It's about 2.5 hours long, and I watched it all.
I was like horrified and
Oh,
angry,
it was awful.
and then like laughing so much. I was on this roller coaster of emotions. It was fat. He's an insane character. By the way, I'm not like if people listen to him, why we loved it so much is because he's a moron.
He's one of the worst people in the world
and represents so much terrible things in the world. But he also exists, so we have to exist with him.
There's something really intoxicating about watching someone speak so freely in this day and age.
Right.
And I don't mean like
applaud for what he's saying
or agreeing in the slightest.
Right.
To be like, holy shit, this guy literally doesn't care.
I know, but there is a problem in that.
But it's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
Yeah.
This is the problem. Like, this is why like Trump got to where he got.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, I kept thinking if Cobra Tate was like an old white, like grey haired. I don't know.
He'd be called out.
But he wouldn't. Everyone would be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's just that this guy is like huge. He's like.
Yeah, he's a kickboxer. He's rich as fuck.
He's so rich.
Handsome.
Yeah, like, well.
Or exudes confidence that you're attracted to that confidence.
Right. I mean, I just thought he was like ridiculous.
Oh yeah, he's a character, if that's for sure.
But oh my god, entertaining.
Yeah, I'd recommend listening to that episode.
If you want to be like angered and cheered up in the same sentence by someone, then I'd recommend it highly.
Absolutely,
it's so good.
Speaking of kickboxing,
yeah.
Do you remember when I showed you this? This popped up on my feed the other day, and I remembered thinking just how absolutely insane it was.
Oh no, you're going to show me. Oh no.
That's what's going to happen to you when you start kickboxing next week.
No, for people who are just listening, Alf just showed us a kickboxing video of this guy getting cleaned out by a kick in the face.
It was Joaquin Buckley UFC fight against... who was it against? I can't remember who it was against. But essentially, it was a horrific knockout.
Are you excited to see me go kickboxing next week?
Hey, I've seen you work the mitts before, baby. You got some power.
I do. I've got some
speed.
I've got some aggression in me. I didn't realise was there.
You do. You got some strong hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could do some serious damage.
Yeah.
How do you think you'd be in a fight?
Oh, I really don't know. I think I need a lot of training.
Yeah.
I'm mentally not there. That's the problem. I think physically, it's all mental. Because I think if I was like right now,
Yeah.
and I was that kind of person that had that energy running through them of like I'm a winner, and I'm gonna dominate this person.
Yeah.
I think I would have the strength there to do it.
Yeah. That's interesting, is it? Because a lot of
I don't have that. I don't want to fight anybody.
No.
I want to fight a bag.
Yeah, but you don't want to fight someone.
I don't want to hit anyone.
Not even if it was just like if it was in the sporting sense and an opponent and they were training and you were training and it was fair competition. What is it about someone you don't want to fight? Because I understand not wanting to fight an innocent person.
Yeah.
But...
You know what it is? I'm really, really terrified of losing.
Oh, do you think you're not terrified of getting punched? More terrified of getting losing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then that goes back to the positive affirmation, doesn't it?
And why I've never got the jobs that I really wanted.
Yeah, because you didn't punch the interviewer.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Show dominance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to give me this job.
Yeah. I don't know if because we watched a lot of fighting last year because I got into Muay Thai, didn't I?
Yeah,
Trained
you
Muay
got
Thai,
well into it.
and loved it.
Yeah.
Still do. But we watched a lot of fights, didn't we?
We did. We watched. I got so excited just then. Yeah, so we watched it, and I'd never seen boxing before, really. And I'd always had this really strong opinion that if you watch boxing and you're into boxing, then you're a bit of an animal because who the hell wants to watch other people do that to each other?
Yeah.
How wrong I was.
Yeah.
It's the most fantastic sport in the world.
We got well into it. Yeah, I was surprised at how much you loved it, actually.
Do you remember the first fight I saw though, and that guy got knocked out and I cried?
Oh, yeah. that was a bad one as well.
Because I was just got so like,
oh, who was that?
It was the performative kind of nature of it as well. Like it was in front of so many people, and I just remember thinking like, oh my God, this is somebody's like relative that they're gonna watch. And he hit the ropes. And
it was Gervonta Davis, wasn't it, against Leo Santa Cruz, is he called?
Oh, I hated this.
It was just the worst uppercut. Oh. I remember when we watched it, because we were watching the full fight, and it was actually really good. And Santa Cruz was kind of up on points and up on the rounds, and then out of nowhere, this like so insanely quick uppercut came. Yeah, and it was shocking.
And it was like the
way
was
out for ages.
He was out for so long, and I just remember thinking like, oh my God, he's like brain damaged now forever.
Yeah, no, he's all right.
Oh, okay.
He's okay.
Okay, I just kept thinking like, oh my God, his poor mother.
Yeah, his legs just crumbled.
Oh my God. But then I saw how much you changed. Like,
no, it was the best. It was the best thing ever. I absolutely loved it, and because I was the same. I was the same though, really. Before, I never really watched boxing. Yeah. Never watched the UFC. My brother used to love it, and I used to actually quite dislike it. The idea that like people would do that to each other. And then we were in Toronto when we lived in Toronto, and there was a shout out Diamond Muay Thai, DMTYZ.
Oh, I know some of those guys listen actually.
Yeah, they're an OG grandchild. So
yeah.
The best thing that's ever happened to me in terms of fitness in my life. They were the best gym I could have possibly gone to. Yeah. Because they were super friendly and welcoming. And then I realized that like that gym is very special, but also a lot of gyms are similar. It's actually full of really nice people, intelligent people that aren't like monsters that just want to destroy people. No. A lot of people go there just for mental health and fitness. Mm-hmm. And that's what I went there for originally. And it was so good.
And I also think like with fighting, with whatever form it takes, is like a real, it's a confidence builder. Like what I'm saying is my nervousness about starting like a kickboxing class and going, I could never fight somebody because I'm nervous about losing and not feeling that like vulnerable. Like that's such a terrible quality, really, isn't it? Like how are you gonna face anything in life if you are really afraid of putting yourself out there and being vulnerable? And like fighting is like the most obvious physical manifestation of that. And that's why there's like a big push for young kids and teenagers to get involved in some kind of like physical combative sport where you have like full respect for the other person, but you're working on yourself through, you know. Did female UFC fighters have to have rules about like when they're on their periods and stuff?
I think you can fight whilst you're on your period.
Yeah.
I think
well, what about...
women. With the messed up thing of the sport is for any combat sport is that like you have to make weight.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I pile it on just from like
but there are like
breathing.
tricks. There are tricks that because I know Ashley, who's at Diamond, does a lot of work with their female fighters and teaching them how they can still make weight whilst they're on the periods
while they're in that cycle, because it must be really difficult because you fluctuate so much.
Yeah, it's a weird thing about the sport, which I totally get, because you need weight classes, because obviously I can't fight someone that's like 50 pounds lighter than me because I already have a power advantage over him. But
maybe they have to fight other women who are also on their period.
Yeah, just get all bloodied up in the ring.
More so than they would normally.
Yeah.
I wonder how Andrew Tate, who famously feels that women should just belong in the home and raise the children and just get men whatever they want.
Yeah.
I wonder how he feels about women who fight in UFC.
I wonder how he feels.
Yeah. You know what? I don't really care.
I don't care. I guess he probably hate them.
Probably would hate
because
them.
because he doesn't think they should. But I think he's in. My assessment of the young man is I think he's been seriously hurt by women in his life, and that's why he's so,
I know,
horrifically misogynistic. I think either his mum's left him as a kid, or been horrible to him as a kid, or the love of his life's cheated on him.
Yeah,
I think that's what's happened, and he is just,
I had the very strong sense that he doesn't understand the feminine power at all, or wants to understand it.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Yeah, you know what? Why? Like, he's not going to run the world. Touch wood. Let's just leave him to it.
Yeah. Well, he's winning, really, isn't he? Because we're talking about him.
Yeah. This is what's interesting, isn't it? Is that these guys, like, we hate them so much, but like we're so triggered, or we're so like, oh my God, I've got to listen to what controversial thing he's going to say so I can get angry at it, or I can feel a thing about it. This is why they do so well.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we have gone way off topic.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
How we'd like to be buried.
Oh my God.
But we got there. It's all right. We've only been going for 40 minutes. The people are sticking with us.
We've covered a lot of ground.
So mine was buried at sea. How would you like to be buried? What would you want to happen to your body?
I've always thought I'd want to be cremated.
Yeah, me too, originally.
And then ashes scattered.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm going to.
Okay. Proceed. I appreciate...
Permission to interrupt.
I really appreciate you apologising and doing it anyway.
Thank you. And it's a really quick point.
It's okay.
That won't go on a
it.
45-minute tangent like we just did. I did originally think cremation, but going back to my whole thing about being absorbed by the earth, I don't feel like you are absorbed by the earth when you're burnt into ashes and dust. I guess you do go into the soil and stuff, but that's all I'm going to have to say. So carry on.
No, that's a good point. Maybe you're not. Maybe all the essence of your bones and stuff is kind of all gone.
All the gooey bits.
Yeah, like all the gooey bits,
Yeah.
But I like the idea of, well, no, what's the other options? Be made. I like the idea, you can be made into a tree.
Nothing off the table. Do whatever you want. All options. Oh, the tree thing. I'd like to do that.
Wait, there's no options like I can have anything?
No, I'm saying now, in our Magic I Could Be Your Grandma world that we've brought to life, anything that you want to happen to your body, you can do. So what do you want? Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
I think if it was anything, I would just be buried, no coffin, in the ground.
Okay.
In like a beautiful landscape. Like I honestly, like the Lake District. I'd be buried in a forest in the Lake District.
Yeah, just bare body.
Just bare body. Not like left above ground.
Yeah.
Underground.
Yeah.
So I could just be absorbed by a beautiful oak tree.
If you were on top of the ground, I'd leave, and then a fox or somebody's cocker spaniel will just like take a piss on you. There'd be so many tourists that
oh my God, I know.
Like, oh my God,
this wasn't in the guidebook.
I would agree. I like to be just buried in the earth, maybe. But I don't like the idea of like, I don't know, like, isn't it funny that like our Western society is so afraid of decay and like that death, that like that smell and that like flesh thing, but like that is what's going to happen. Why are we so afraid of it? Why can't we see it as being a really like glorious thing that our bodies are slowly like being taken away?
Yeah.
It's like that woman, that podcast, the one we were talking about, it talks about death.
Yeah.
She was
Did
like,
you just turn West Country for a second there?
did I?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Oh, sorry.
What we were talking about.
So, when we were talking about death.
Yeah. All the bones and stuff.
I like bones and that. We were buried in ground or somewhere else. I don't know, somewhere. She was like, it's real commonplace. real commonplace.
Real commonplace, the bones and that. Lovely.
Taking you on a journey.
Yeah.
That people will have the bodies in the house of their family members who have died, so you all can mourn the person.
Yeah.
And also she spoke a little bit about why it's really weird that we get like, is it formaldehyde? Or
it delays it's formaldehyde, isn't it? And it delays the rotting process.
So we have to see our loved ones in this like pristine way, like
but
how we've seen them.
That's for our benefit. It's not for their benefit.
Would you want me to see you as you are when you're dying? Because honestly, as well,
it's up to you.
Well, what's interesting is I don't care.
No, same.
But when you die, if I'm still alive, I'd like to see your body. I'd like all
one
of it.
last time.
All of it. I'd like to live. It sounds really creepy, but I'd like to live with the dead body for a while.
There's a sitcom. You and my dead body.
Making you cook
Yeah.
and like putting
cheesy little theme tune.
Just like, brushing your hair and putting you in the bath.
Working all day, chilling out with my dead husband. We go to the park and we feed the birds with your dead husband.
You had loads of it. We go to the shops and we go to the cinema with your dead husband.
We go into bed and turn the lights down low with your dead husband.
I can see it being so popular. And then the picture, like the final image is us on the sofa, my arm over your dead body like that, like smiling, like,
what's he like?
Yeah, this guy.
And then your daughter comes in and goes, Mum, you need to sort yourself out. It's been 12 years. Yeah. For God's sake, Mum, get rid of Dad.
I found bits of his flesh in the bathroom this morning. It's dropping off.
You need to change the sheets.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'd like...
You need to change the sheets.
I'd really like your body. I'd like to just not... like you die and then that's it. I don't get to see you.
Yeah.
Again.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Like, but can we do it? Is it illegal to have a dead body in the house?
Well, I think, it's up to you for how I think what that woman wasn't saying live your life with the dead body. She was saying take some time before you call an ambulance, notify, if it's a natural death, not if someone's dying and be like, well, he's probably going to die, so I'll just leave it. I won't call an ambulance. I think it's more like if someone's died in their sleep or whatever, then take some time.
Don't panic.
Have half an hour to sit
with the
and
body.
to see and to acknowledge that that person isn't there. Because a fresh dead body is pretty human.
Right.
And especially if it gets taken away in an ambulance. So you're right. It's like 1 minute you're with someone that you still think is alive, really, because they've been dead for 5, 15, 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they've gone. And then you don't see them for 2, 3, 4 days. And then they're in that same state.
Yeah. Must be
It's weird.
Strange.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see how people listen to these kind of conversations, like what arises in you when you hear about death. Like we're so conditioned to be so afraid of it, and it is a terrible thing when you lose a loved one.
Oh yeah.
But it's a journey that we're all heading towards, isn't it?
Yeah.
So should we be thinking about it often or not?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I honestly don't think. I think if you have a fixation on it, then maybe it could be a bad thing. But I don't think it's a bad thing to be reminded occasionally throughout life that this is a thing that happens. Because I think that's what that woman was saying, isn't it? It prepares you. It makes you comfortable with. Because she was saying that in a non-spiritual way, because she wasn't spiritual, was that a lot of the people she works with can pinpoint a moment when a soul's left the room.
Wow.
And not like a breeze walks through the window
And the door
soul has
closed.
gone. Yeah, see you later, love. But more like after that hour or however long you spend with the body, there's that feeling of like,
okay, they're
oh, that
not here.
person isn't here.
Right.
That
yeah.
character and that soul is no longer with us.
Oh my God, that's devastating.
But it's also quite comfortable, isn't it? Because then that's the whole thing with the body. You see the body and you know, you're like, that's not them.
Right.
That's not them.
Yeah.
And that in itself is comforting to know that, the essence of what makes us human isn't the flesh that we're in. It's our personality and our being.
That's true. Yeah.
And sometimes when you don't have that acknowledgement, you think you bury that personality or you burn that personality and being and put them in the ground.
Yeah.
And actually, that's not the case. They've already gone. Jesus. Heavy
No,
episode.
my word. You just know. I feel really uplifted by that, though.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like there's a collective existential dread among the population at the minute. Like everyone I speak to is just in their mindsets have changed. There's like a collective shift. Like, you know, that guy who said, he's like, what's going on in the world? He's like, you've got people like, it used to be a load of hippies, just like a small fragment of society talking about like, you know, coming to terms with your own death in your 20s. Like normally you just get a job, get the house, have the kids. Oh, I got this fantastic new floor cleaner. And then now we're in a place where we're having conversations about the fact that we're going to die.
Yeah.
And it's not unusual. And there was that guy, remember, he was talking about like how it's like, how have we suddenly just got to the point where the guy in the bank is talking to me about like how like reality isn't a thing?
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucking wild, isn't
like
it?
It's so
God.
strange how many of us are like having these really like strange conversations about the fabric of reality.
Maybe that's just us and who we hang around with.
Maybe
Maybe
yeah.
we need to just get some boring friends that don't want to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
But hey.
Well, we could talk about something a bit more lighthearted.
So I got something fun, but also it could be quite bleak
Okay.
as well. So I'll let you make your mind up on it. But I was thinking about, you know, again, always trying to throw back to the theme of our show, which is things that your grandparents didn't have to worry about, didn't have to talk about, or weren't around in their time or whatever. And there's been a lot of celebrity scandals. We've lived through a lot of celebrity scandals.
Mm-hmm.
There's loads going on at the minute. There's loads happened in the past. And I know our grandparents will have had their equivalent to celebrity scandals, but like,
Yeah.
not to the same degree as us because of the technology we have to like capture those scandals and to like live with them.
Know about them.
And it's really interesting, like how, you know, a celebrity scandal back then would be like the Clinton affair or the Kennedy Monroe affair. And it's like all just kind of newspapers, and it all kind of gets forgotten about because there's not like hard proof or like, you know, like evidence that makes them look terrible.
Right.
And then I remember, do you remember the fantastic duo that was Alan Carr and Justin Lee Collins? And you go,
Yeah.
I remember Alan Carr.
Yeah.
And you go, and I vaguely remember
Yeah,
Justin Lee Collins.
Yeah, I go, I kind of remember him,
Who's
but
he?
yeah, I don't.
He was the big beardy, long-haired bloke with the West Country accent that did like
yeah,
that show
yeah.
with us.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah.
And you think, oh, what's he up to nowadays? And well, what happened, you might not remember, is when he was psychologically abusing his girlfriend, wasn't he? And she recorded all of the instances. And don't worry, it's not violent.
Like a Mel Gibson thing. Like when
I've got the Mel Gibson thing as well.
Oh my God, this is fascinating.
So here is Justin Lee Collins being a cool guy.
I f***ing told you what to do. You f***ed up at the pub. When you're f***ing with me, you look at the f***ing ground, you look at a tree, you look at a bench, you look at any f***ing inanimate object. You do not look at any other f***ing human being, you s***. Do you understand? And you asked me what's wrong, and when I eventually f***ing told you, what should you have done?
You've already said that.
What should you have done? Apologised and said, my darling, I'm sorry, I love you, I'm going to cream you right now, and then I'm going to rub you back. Because I upset you at the pub,
my
I was out of
gosh.
order, I was wrong, and I f***ing love you, and I'm going to make amends.
it's hard to take it seriously.
Oh my
when,
God. It's...
when he's got that beautiful West Country accent. When you're me, you look at the ground. Right? You look at a tree, you look at a bench, you look at the ground.
You don't look at any other human being, okay?
I'd be there like, are you having a go at me, or are you trying to tell me to appreciate the nature and surroundings that we live in?
Is this a bit, Justin Lee?
Yeah.
I am so shocked. I didn't even know this was
He
a
had
thing.
it in it, right on.
Right down,
Yeah.
rub your back.
Yeah. What? You apologise, you cream me right down, and you rub my back.
That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking for.
Is that so hard? You look at the ground, you look at a tree, you cream me right down, and you rub my back.
He's an animal.
God, how horrible is that?
I'm hopefully that was resolved in him going to prison or something.
I think he definitely didn't have a career anymore.
Or getting, maybe a bit of help. I think he sounds like he's very, very angry.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny about that is all I'm hearing is like all the abuse he got as a kid.
Oh.
Like that's 100% sure what happens. Like you don't become that evil to other people without people being that evil to you, do you?
Not with that voice.
No, not with that voice at all.
Not with that accent.
No.
Not with that accent, no.
He probably had a parent that, that they wanted creaming down. What was the problem? I don't understand. He wanted her to give her a massage.
I think what happened, I listened to the full call again earlier today.
On repeat.
Whilst masturbating. I was, no, and I think what had happened is they'd been at like a party or an event, and she had like talked to another guy.
She looked up.
She wasn't looking at that tree. She was looking at that man's face.
Yeah. She wasn't looking at the ground. She looked around the room and she probably said hello to a couple of people.
Exactly.
Right. Oh.
So
she had it coming. Yeah. She had it coming.
No, and then it's obviously upset him. And instead of her rubbing his back, creaming him right down and apologising, she didn't, and that's what led to the abuse.
Okay, so he's a psycho.
Oh yeah, he's a pure, horrible, terrible, bad psycho.
Isn't it crazy
person.
that you can have people that are famous and like are those because I'm not really too familiar with what he was like on TV. What did he do?
I remember there was a lot of people that spoke out. He did those shows like like reunion shows, like Bring Back the A-Team or I'm bringing back Star Wars or whatever.
Okay.
And then he did that show with Iron Carr. But I remember when this came out, apparently loads of people came out and said that he was actually really rude and horrible and not that nice to work with.
And how do people like that get on TV? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like, do you think there's anybody that we've met that is like that behind closed doors?
Oh, 100%.
Wow. That's really
Definitely.
scary.
It is, isn't it?
It's really scary, yeah. Because I like to think I'm quite similar
to
how I am now, like all the time.
And I think most people are. I think I
have my down moments though. I'd never talk to another person like that.
No.
I go, have I ever talked to you like that? Have I ever put you down?
You've never told me to look at the ground. No.
Yeah, no, imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine.
You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
I think did I originally show you the Mel Gibson
I remember seeing the
ones?
Mel Gibson one and just being like, this is wild.
Just ridiculous, isn't it?
Mel Gibson as well was a huge actor.
Still is. What I don't understand, I know the Justin Lee Collins one, I think this is an interesting segue into like celebrity culture.
Right.
And sort of going back to the whole grandparents thing where like cancelling wasn't as much of a thing.
Right.
And I don't necessarily agree with cancel culture today when it becomes for smaller things, but for like big things, cancel culture wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of going against my own point here, but like, if you're a big celebrity, it takes a lot of work to get cancelled.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're a big, white, successful celebrity,
right,
it takes a lot to get cancelled.
But I also think if it doesn't make it into the media, the rhetoric is lost in there somewhere, and then people forget. And then they're
That's
like,
it. People move on quick.
Oh yeah, but Braveheart.
Yeah, Mel Gibson though, freedom, love him.
Like, the first thing because I always remember that was the thing about him, that like, oh, that crazy voicemail that he left his ex-wife, it's crazy. Yeah. But then I'm like, oh well, I do like Braveheart.
Yeah.
And I think
Signs is a great film.
It's really strange. I don't know. Am I supposed to not listen to it anymore.
Well, this is it, isn't it? It's like separating the artist from the art. But like in Mel Gibson's case, I'm just like, how is this
I don't
man
care about
still
Mel
working?
Gibson anyway.
No, but like I remember reading an article the other day of like his new film that he's doing. I'm like,
After
is
this,
he
how
still
the hell
working?
is he still working?
Yeah, like
yeah.
what's going on? I mean, apart from the fact that, he's a rich white guy. And I guess this was like a couple of years ago when we were less woke. But
Yeah.
Provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs you feel you have to show off. I don't like it. I don't want that woman. I don't want you. I don't believe you anymore. I don't trust you. I don't love you.
Wow. Oh my. That is...
okay, can you pick some milk on the way home? Bye. Beep.
I don't trust you. I don't love you. He was being... He needs to be in jail for that.
Yeah, that's madness.
Like, he's not only being obscenely racist, but he's like threatening her. Oh my God, he makes me feel sick. I feel like sick.
Yeah, it's
He's
not good.
sick, man. He's
He's
not
ill.
okay. He's
Ill,
not.
bro.
Yeah, he's ill. That one was rough.
Yeah.
Have you got any other
Domestic abuse calls?
any abuse content?
No, I haven't actually.
Can I show you something that'll cheer us up?
Yeah, actually,
Just
please.
quickly.
I hope it's actually good.
You're gonna really
I
love
hope
it.
it's
You're
actually
gonna,
fun and light-hearted.
I do think you're really,
Our
really gonna
listeners
like
have
it.
earned it. Jesus.
I watched this the other day and it proper made me giggle. I loved it so much. Okay. I'm going to send it to I Could Be a Grandma Instagram.
Instahams.
This is going to cheer things up a little bit, I think, Alf.
Who did... Who did poop?
Oh, he's shaking his tail. That is so perfectly still. For listeners that are watching, you can probably tell there's a man in his kitchen and there's a load of dog poo on the floor. And he turns his camera around to the dog, and the dog is like playing Simon Says perfectly still with his little paw dangling in midair.
It's perfect.
And it's absolutely bloody wholesome content, and I'm all for it.
That's what you do when I find a little poo on the floor. I'm like, Alfie, what? Poop? And then you're just like, yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, there you go.
We need more dog vids in our life, don't we?
Oh, can we get a dog?
Yeah, soon.
What kind of dog are we
Soon,
going to get?
soon. Big golden Labrador.
Oh,
Big golden
little
retriever.
big golden poos all over the house.
Not poodle. Labrador.
I won't even be angry if it took a poo.
No, I'd rub my face in it.
I'd join it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll do one too, and then you won't feel bad.
Look, don't embarrass him. Embarrass him. Do everyone do a poo? Do you have anything else before we wrap this wonderful episode up?
No. Thanks for talking about death with me for a little bit.
No. Just remember next time when you're with me, you look at the ground.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. You look at the light, you look at the computer, or you look at the ground.
You got it.
Live episodes coming up. We got some special shit planned. We've got a guest soon.
Yeah.
But we're not going to give any more information about that.
No.
But we're going to have our first guest ever on I Could Be Your Grandma, which we're very excited about.
Yeah, should be great.
And yeah, as always, social medias, rate and review. Please tell your friends. We hope you enjoy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Lots of love. And see you next week.
Peace.
Yeah.